Welcome to the Personal Dog Training Calls with Clients podcast, episode 11. I adopted a super sickly dog that now needs behavioral training. This is an interesting case. They adopted a dog that was way sicker than the rescue had let on, and it's taken a lot to get the dog up to health, but now that he's healthy, he's presenting a bunch of behavior problems, and she's an older lady that needs, some direct assistance. Thanks for listening.
My dog needs help.
Okay, do you have some time to talk about the situation?
Sure. His name is Mike. He's was rescued from the reservation.
Okay.
He came with full of every known pesticide, parasite in existence, pretty much. I got him from a rescue group that said they had wormed him, but he had a massive worm infection. He had Giardia, and he had a bunch of other infections that were cleared up. He also, like I say, he came with Giardia. He was so skinny, his ribs were totally sticking out, and he had an eye infection when they found him. I think that being loose on the revision pretty much affected him. He's a wonderful, sweet, gentle, loving dog, but he doesn't learn.
Okay.
He doesn't know, he doesn't respond to commands like sit or stay, or he doesn't heel.
Okay.
And he's still leaping.
Oh, leaps up, jumps up on you.
Jumps up, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
He's, I think, who knows, but I think that he's kind of a cross between a husky and a retriever. He weighs 43 pounds, and he's still too skinny, but he's not as skinny as he was when I got him.
Okay.
He's not hopeless. He likes, he loves attention.
Okay. I'll be able to tell you for sure if he's learning disabled, so to speak. I will be able to tell you. I see a lot of dogs so I've been doing this 14 years. I don't know if you looked me up a little bit, but I do private training where I come into homes. And coming into homes for all these years, again, not come to me even, I come to you guys for a reason. It helps me really understand dogs. And I take for granted I really do trust what you're telling me. I've seen all variety of problems from rescue dogs to brand new puppies to dogs that have been abused, dogs that, you name it, okay? Ex-fighting dogs, I've done it, okay?
He's going to be a year old. He's about a year old.
Okay, and so the good thing is he's not vicious, and that's a real big plus because some of these rescue dogs get bumped around. Obviously, he was totally neglected, and sounds like he was a feral, but not a feral that wasn't around people, if that makes sense. So he was homeless, but he hung out with people and stuff.
I think so.
And so I'll help you understand, because traditional dog training doesn't really factor in how to teach dogs on a behavioral standpoint. They want to focus too much on the sit, stay, coming down, or only on sit, stay, coming down, only on the food luring, also known as positive reinforcement dog training. And then on the behavior side, they're just too heavy-handed, honestly. Everything's about correction and burning energy and throwing dogs on treadmills. So I navigated all this, and I don't do any of that. We're going to get right at the behavior problems, So if he jumps up, that's a big one. Pull it on the leash. What other things do you think you want to work on with him?
Well, I'd like him to stay when he's told to stay. I know you didn't think that was a biggie, but
yeah, that's important. Like a place command. Well, I teach a thing like a place command because you can use that to get him to sit there and relax and not follow you around or get into stuff.
Oh, yes. He also said he was house trained when I got him, but he wasn't. Okay.
How's he doing with that now?
Most of the time, he's okay. He also eats everything. He eats his leather leash. He eats my remote for my TV twice.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So he's destructive.
Well, he's not purposefully destructive. He just eats everything.
Yeah. Well, eating food, but remember, we use certain terms so we know what we're talking about. Eating would be like other eating food. If they touch and start chewing on non-toy items, it's considered destructive behavior. Okay,
Okay.
we have to put things in the very definable, easy, not scientific, categories. A dog that destroys human things, that's a big problem. Yeah, and that's
Well, he's a digger.
he's a digger. Yeah, so he's got to be supervised closer because he's been out just doing his own thing. He is like a wild boy, and he is, and that's fine. I mean, I adopted a dog. He's going to turn 9 months. I adopted a male dog at 9 weeks old. 7 months ago, and even just raising a male dog that's mixed breed, that's full of energy from the beginning can be hard. Let alone he's had 11 months of being like no rules, and the good thing is that he's free, he's fun loving, but he does need to get a leash and a collar on, and a collar around his neck. That
He has a collar on always. He
Okay.
ate the end off of his collar.
Yeah.
But he does have a collar on all the time.
Yeah.
And I keep him on a steel-centered, whatever it is, metal-centered 14-foot leash in places where I am.
Okay.
When I take him out, I put him on a 3-foot leash.
I'll show you. It's more about just having access to him through the leash because he's not listening verbally. And so I'll show you I'll get you the right type of equipment. We'll get the right type of collar on him. So if he goes to chew on something or show interest to chew on something he shouldn't, we're going to physically correct him, teach him a physical to verbal so that we do physical so that very quickly when we say no or he stops without the physical.
Yeah.
And then we try to see how some of the stuff we try to correct through. Things like the jumping, I do have a specific command. I developed new commands, and one of them is specifically no jumping, personal boundary command. So we'll teach him not to jump. It's very important for him to learn that because it's also how
Because he's going to hurt a kid.
you also get in when they crowd you. That's why they don't listen to you. So we have to rule out some of the reasons why dogs really don't listen to people. And it's not what you've ever heard. The reason they don't listen to us is because we don't have any boundaries on them, and we don't have access to speaking to them through the leash in a way that they understand. And so they're confused. They're just going to do what they're going to do, And they say, "I can't. You want me to listen to what?" They're actually confused, Well, I thought you were just my play buddy. Hey, I thought you were just my play buddy, Or
Yeah, and I thought I was the alpha.
yeah.
Anyway, okay, I would ask you what you charge for these lessons.
Yeah. So you got my information from the rescue, right? Or from the veterinary?
The Swirl Vet. I don't trust his rescue a whole bunch.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, you can listen to some of I do a podcast where I talk about a lot of different things, and yeah, it's tough with the rescue world. How long?
Yeah, I'm sure it's tough on them, but they let me donate for a very, very sick dog.
Yeah.
Terribly underweight, very sick dog.
And maybe they underplayed the amount of physical problems and ailments the dog had.
Yes.
And they didn't wait until the dog was fully healthy before they found it a home.
Yes.
And you'll find that that's why I'm asking, how long have you had the dog?
I've had the dog probably 3 or 4 months.
Okay, 3 or 4 months. Yeah, and you haven't seen anything weird because so many of these dogs, I hate to say it, that are being adopted out are showing signs of aggression after they're adopted, so not right away. So you're very lucky that he hasn't. He's got. I know he's had a different road, but at least you don't have the fear
aggression to deal with.
on top of it.
That was my golden retriever that I had the aggression problem with.
Okay, well, if you would have met me then, we would have figured it out. But I guess ship has sailed.
He had, separation anxieties, which is, I guess, shrink dog 4. He was just an aggressive dog.
Yeah, and all these are every behavior problem is common. So behavior problems are common in dogs. So every one of them, whether it be aggression, separation anxiety, destructive behavior, pulling on the leash, jumping on people. And this is something, unfortunately, I have to talk about with everybody that is going to become a client, is for 14 years, people have been calling me to solve these problems, but the industry delivers you something you don't want. They want you to go to a classroom, or they want you to come to them and do sit, stay, coming down, and we're going to get right at whatever's going on with him. So you're going to learn some behavior-based commands that I've developed. They're new. They're new ways of thinking about things, but they're going to get right to the chase. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's cut to the chase. Let's get him not to jump. I have a command for that. Instead of going, well, we're just going to give him a treat and hope he doesn't jump up. No, you teach him not to jump up until he's invited. Okay, it's a command. All right, guys. I have a whole system for walking to teach him not to pull you. It's a system. It's one of the commands, right? Some of the things you're taught. How do you get him not to be destructive? You supervise him. Place command can help like that because you put him in place command, you know he's there. When he's off a place command, you can watch him closely and correct using the no or leave it physical command, the verbal that I'm going to show you as a command as well. So we're going to give you very definable commands that then you utilize to get him to go, oh crap, maybe I'm not this wild dog anymore. I got a real family. He'll become a real dog because a wild, like, he's not. I'm sure he's sweet, but he's not going to have a great life if he's annoying like that and doing all this stupid stuff, right?
No, and I'm going to run out of remotes.
What's that?
I'm going to run out of remotes. Yeah. Okay.
I have a thing called the alumni program. I call it. Dogs that train with me, a lot of them we build relationships, and I offer them the ability to have their dogs be with us when they're on vacations every year. So I have like 24 dogs at every vacation. They come and stay, and we've trained them in the past, so they're always here to train, and my 2 dogs too, to get really good socialization groups for your dog. It's not about your dog meeting dogs; it's about your dog meeting the right dogs the right way. It's not about your dog meeting people. It's about your dog meeting people the right way. I meet a lot of dogs at 8 weeks old, so they turn 4 months old, get all the shots, and come and stay with Uncle Greg for a week or two. And it changes their life and imprints all the work we've done forever, for their whole lives. It really does. I can prove it over and over with these dogs. So we'll just see. We'll put him, if he, like you said, is he dumb? Is he resistant? Is there something?
Oh my God, he's not dumb. He's super smart, and he's not resistant. It's not that he doesn't want to please. He doesn't know how.
He doesn't know what you want from him. So we'll put a leash and collar on him. We'll say, here's your place bed. He tries to come off. We'll say no. We'll put him back on. He wants to jump up on us. We'll bump him off, and then we'll invite him up. And we'll teach him down, to go off of us for all the dogs, right?
Good.
Yeah, that's my whole career. If everything I'm saying makes no sense to the dog owner, then I change what I'm saying until it makes sense to you guys. Because I know what we got to get to, and if I'm trying to teach a dog and they're not learning or resisting, I've changed what I've done over the years to make sure we're getting right at what we need to do.
I would like you to come over.
Thanks for listening to the Calls with Clients podcast, episode 11. I adopted a super sick dog that has a bunch of behavior problems we need to address. I ended up working with this lady and her dog Mike, or Mikey as I call him. You'll see some of the updates on Instagram, and they've made incredible progress, especially considering she's 83 years old and he's a young, energetic male dog. So again, thanks for listening to the Calls with Clients podcast, episode 11, and never forget that change is possible when you use the communication command approach to clear things up.